Welcome. I hope you are astounding today and very tulis on this Friday, April 17th, 2026. Elon posts, AI/robotics will produce goods and services far in excess of the increase in the money supply, so there will not be inflation. If the rate of growth of goods and services exceeds the rate of growth of the money supply, which Elon predicts will happen, then you will have deflation. Raptor 3 is the most advanced rocket engine ever. Key upgrades: no external heat shield, full regenerative cooling. Record thrust-to-weight ratio. Simplified design with fewer parts for faster production and higher reliability. The Raptor 3 engine powers Starship V3/V4 toward 10,000 plus tons thrust and rapid reusability, the key to Mars. Starship V3 booster and ship will be ready for the first test flight in a few weeks. Elon reposts, racism does not have a good track record. It's been tried out for a long time, and you would think by now we would want to put an end to it, instead of putting it under new management. From Thomas Sowell. The Babylon Bee, fake news you can trust, reports, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani says city-run supermarket will be ready in 3 years, but recommends getting in line for bread now. Also, do not fear mass Islamic migration, says Pope behind 40-foot walls of Vatican City fortress. And, quote, it's not my job to be funny, end quote, says comedian. Reflecting light. 1. If you grew up with a narcissistic parent, you became the adult in the house, and now you have no idea how to actually set boundaries. If this hit, it did not start in your adult life. It started when you were young and had to manage your narcissistic parent's emotions to keep yourself safe. You learned how to read the room. You learned how to manage other people's emotions. You learned how to stay one step ahead so things would not fall apart. That follows you into your relationships, into your communication, into the way you do not set healthy boundaries. Most people think this is just how they are. It is a pattern that kept you safe, and now it is preventing you from actually protecting yourself. Adapted from Dorsey Pruder. 2. It is parents who owe their kids the world. Kids do not owe either parent anything, no matter how broken that parent is. Credit to Maddie of the Anti-Alienation Project. 3. A narcissist's reaction to even the smallest bruise to their ego is wildly disproportionate. And with the far more abundant covert narcissists, they ensure this reaction takes place in private circles. Something as simple as setting a boundary, declining a conversation, or blocking them can ignite an intense internal rage. What to a healthy person would be a useful challenge becomes for the narcissist a personal attack, a mortal insult, an unforgivable wound. They experience that boundary as humiliation, and humiliation is intolerable to them. It threatens their delusional sense of superiority and control. In response, they can feel a burning hatred so extreme it resembles annihilation rage, the impulse to psychologically destroy the person who dared to defy them. And if they cannot affect you, they go after your children. 4. Game theory shows that correct consequence is just as important as cooperation. Start by cooperating, and do not tolerate others to unjustly cross you without consequence. This resets expectations and is the manifestation that you are both willing to cooperate and that you will correctly defend your principles. It's an invitation and a deterrent, balanced with intention. Cooperate when possible, give consequences when needed. 5. Narcissist and psychopath types lie with shameless proficiency and only in gossip about those who expose them. They avoid direct conversation with their target. They are crafty to use emotive language in the lies to elicit loyalty in listeners, such as, "He stalked me," "It was awful," "Poor me." The lies are easy to identify, but the listener does no research due to loyalty. Worst is when these types push their minor children as meat shields for their lies, destroying those children in the process, out of envy and spite, and trying to blame the target for it. In time, these types are exposed, and all the while, they must live with that guilt in their conscience every day of their life on earth. 6. Beware of losing respect if you chase closure too aggressively or demand answers, reassurance, or clarity. Scarcity creates gravity. The man who can tolerate a measure of uncertainty gains status because he is not negotiating from fear of loss. Detachment is leverage. 7. The better position is becoming someone evildoers can no longer manipulate. Not success, not moving on. Becoming unbothered. When their tactics stop working, their power disappears. Growth does not just heal you, it makes you untouchable to the same people who once broke you. 8. Someone who intentionally provokes you, pushes your boundaries, and then turns around to play the victim when you finally respond. They are not confused, they are creating a pattern that shifts blame away from themselves. 9. You stayed longer than you should have. You had to step back from your own family to gain peace. People on the outside will judge you. They will call you stubborn, impulsive, or cruel. But they were not there to witness what you had to endure. You feel the tension nobody names. You do not swallow, "we are fine," when the system is clearly not fine. Your sensitivity is mocked, and yet you are wired for awareness. It's painful in a toxic system, and life-saving when you decide to leave. As a child, you took the blame, tried to fix, tried to mediate. As an adult, that same set of ethics eventually turned inward and said, "It cannot be truly loving to keep allowing myself to be harmed." You endured emotional neglect, manipulation, and abuse, telling yourself it will change. "I owe them." This is just how families are. The decision to cut off usually comes after years of making excuses for others. There comes a point in your healthy adult life where you recognize you get to live without some people's tension and drama. 10. The more you understand the world, the more illusions fall away. That's why fools are happy, and intelligent people can live in solitude. You recognize more patterns, motives, and contradictions that once went unnoticed. With understanding comes disillusionment. Expectations fade. Trust becomes cautious. Innocence fades. Fools appear happy not because they live better lives, but because they carry fewer questions. They are spared the weight of awareness. Intelligence often leads to solitude, not from arrogance, but from distance. It becomes harder to relate when you see beneath the surface, while others remain comfortable on it. Yet this awareness is not a curse. It is a responsibility. Wisdom hurts before it heals. clarity isolates before it frees. Learn the world, and remember to protect yourself from it. Until you see me again, duliness saves the universe. Be well, everyone.